Hello viewers, again this is God's Compass, a show that seeks to unveil societal issues, and I am your host, Mercy Jerito. So today we will be handling a topic on unplanned pregnancy, and we are privileged to have a wide range of guests. Join us then as we expound on this particular topic. Welcome to God's Compass. Maybe you could introduce yourself, your name, and what you do, starting from my extreme right.
Thank you very much. My name is Obed Lewi, and I'm a youth worker, presently doing my studies in history at Park University.
Thank you for having me around. My name is Kiarie. I am a student at Park University doing psychology counseling. I'm also a mother and I'm also a wife, among other things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mercy, for having me today. My name is Cynthia Muthoni. I am a psychology student at Park University, and I'm also a young mom to a 2 years and 4 months old girl. Thank you.
As we have said earlier on, today we'll be handling a topic on unplanned pregnancy. And maybe if I could ask Mr. Obed, what comes in your mind at the mention of unplanned pregnancy?
We're talking about pregnancies that come at a time when no one expected. From the word unplanned, we have planned and unplanned. So for me, when we talk about unplanned pregnancy, the first thing that comes to my mind is about two people who got themselves in a situation where they didn't actually plan for, and then the pregnancy stepped in.
Maybe people planned to have sex but without expecting to have a baby as a result. Or maybe somebody is even raped and they get pregnant by the end of the day. Yeah.
As part of the introduction, Cynthia, you mentioned of as a young mom. Maybe you could give us a bit of your story.
Yeah, I am a young mom to a 2-year-old, 4 months girl, as I said before. And for me, it was exactly as what you were discussing today. It was unplanned because I didn't expect it. But yeah, a child is a blessing. I'm a Christian, I know that. And I'm only 22 right now, and I got pregnant when I was 19, which was so devastating for me. And it was stressful, of course. And again, it was accompanied with a lot of negative feelings because at that young age, it wasn't my expectation. So with it came feelings of shame, guilt, hopelessness, and as usual, as many people have been there, or it has been said, suicidal thoughts also come together with it. Because when hopelessness comes in, then you don't really see the need to be alive. Yeah, it was a tough journey, I'd say so, because yes, I had support from mom and my relatives, but when the co-partner in that making of the child, if I would say so, isn't there with you, it gets so tough. But my mom helped me out. I was actually at the edge of depression and very serious ulcers that I couldn't even take anything in, and it had gotten me so weak. But I remember my mom confronted me and she told me, maybe I'll say it that from the way she said it from her mouth, due to the stress I was in, due to the depression, I had lost appetite, as it is one of the signs of being in depression. I had withdrawn from so many people. And yeah, she phoned me and she asked me, I remember it, she told me, what you're doing to yourself isn't right. You're not eating, you're not talking to people, you don't want to say what your problem is. Yes, the child came, but we can do nothing about it because it's not our making. And she told me, one thing you will know, Cindy, you're gonna be a murderer. And it really shocked me because I wasn't expecting that to come from her mouth. And I asked her, so how will I be a murderer? And she told me, one thing, you're not eating, you're stressed. And when you're stressed, the child is also stressed. Because you're not eating, you'll not have that energy to push the child when your time for delivery comes. So you either lose the child or due to your stress, you might have a miscarriage, or either when you're giving birth, the child will die, or you will die, or both of you might die. So she told me, you either choose to be alive or you choose to die. And dying means you killing even that child that God has given you. Because there are many people who really want to get children but they don't have chances. Some are barren. And she told me, you know what, when you die, this is what really got me now on my toes, and I was like, I don't want to die. She told me, when you die, we'll mourn over you for 7 days, and then we'll bury you, and then after that, life moves on. So can you choose, do you want to die or do you want to live? It was, I'll say, the turning point of my life then, because I don't think, if she didn't speak up to me like that, I wouldn't have gotten through it so easily. Yeah.
One thing that I picked out of her testimony was the fact that as she was going through the process, she went through depression, through suicidal thoughts, and as a society, we should just embrace them, but not from the psychological perspective.
From psychological perspective, it is very clear that some of the emotional encounters that people go through, shame, guilt, hopelessness, they lead to depression. Because when somebody goes through depression, they get to a point of the hopelessness and get to a point of where they feel like all is lost. There is no hope. They can't see anything. In case you're in classroom and one of the girls is pregnant, don't separate her, don't isolate her, don't look at her from that perspective of you evil one. Just embrace her. Remember that she also going through a very tough time and she really needs that moral support. Support her with love, support her with your friendship, let her have somewhere she can pour her heart out so that she can be able to overcome this situation. If I speak from a mother perspective, when a child, a young girl, you are looking at her, she's just about to get to campus, her future is bright, then she's there, she gets pregnant, the boyfriend runs away. When she gets to that feeling of shame, guilt, as a mother you also experience. Some of them as the religious leaders, you are there in the church, maybe you are even a pastor, and your daughter has gone through the same, or your son has impregnated somebody. Because of that, you feel ashamed, you want to withdraw, you get to depression. It is time to come out, you are not alone, it is happening, but you need help, reach out for help.
From the spiritual perspective, Mr. Obed, what is your take?
Thank you, Mary, for sharing, talking about the spiritual angle, and I think you've touched so much on it, talking about the fact that sometimes you might be a pastor and your child might get pregnant, or even your child might get someone pregnant, and sometimes it's not easy. Even the pastors get depressed and they feel they have failed as fathers and they feel they have failed as parents. But what I want to say is this, for a young lady or for a young man, if you find yourself in a situation where you got an unplanned pregnancy, that is not the end of life. Because from the scriptures we are told by the Bible that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. And that is to say that while you were still in that process of committing that sin, while you're still in that process of sinning, Christ still loves you and his arms are open wide to welcome you home. If you look at the Bible, we see how Christ related with the prostitutes, with the tax collectors, and even with the adulterous woman. He didn't condemn them, rather he welcomed them into his arms. So from the spiritual perspective, I would say that when we get to that level, don't feel all hope is lost. There's still hope. Don't give up, you just come back to God and God is willing to welcome you. I remember a scripture from Romans 8:31 that says, what can separate us from the love of Christ? Nothing, not even early teenage pregnancy. Christ still loves you and is willing to welcome you anytime you're ready to say you are sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Obed. Indeed, you've given us great insights on how an individual should handle the process. But then, the religious affiliations have a role also to play on the same. So, what's your take?
Yeah, for me as a Christian, I would like to talk from the Christian perspective, and I would say for the church is really lacking in so many ways. We tend to look at those people with early pregnancies, unplanned pregnancies, as if they're the worst of sinners. While deep down in us, we know most times we commit other sins like lying, like gossiping, like stealing, but we don't point fingers at such sins. We figure them out and we say they are the bad people. We don't want to live with them. So I would say for the church, I think the church should change its approach to such people. They are also Christians, they are humans. We need to welcome them and let them feel that they are Christians. The fact that they have fallen, they have gone into this kind of a sin, doesn't mean they are expelled from the arms of Christ. It's just like you telling someone who's told that he's no longer a Christian, he's no longer welcome into the church, which is very, very bad. So I feel the church should welcome these people and make them feel at home, make them realize that despite this situation, Christ still loves them because he died for them also.
How about the society?
It is a high time we stopped creating stigma to the people who get themselves pregnant, especially ladies. Unfortunately, it is only the ladies who get pregnant. Yet there is a man who is involved who goes free.
Yeah.
From her story, we don't even know the father.
Yeah.
Actually, he just disappeared. Maybe even the mother does not know the father of the child. But as a matter of fact, you as a man, I'm talking to that man who is outside there, and you get involved and you to sexual intercourse, and a baby comes as a result. You don't have to run away. Remember, whether you run away or not, you are still the father of that child. And the best thing that you can do is to support this mother so that by the end of the day, this baby is born healthy. By the way, do you know that as when a mother is so stressed, even the baby becomes so stressed?
And maybe if you could encourage our viewers outside there, what could you tell them?
Okay, for anyone or for any young lady that is going through this kind of thing, the unplanned pregnancy stuff, I know it's not something that is easy. It is very hard, especially when you don't have support.
End of life. You still got dreams, you're still young. It's good that you pursue your dreams. There's a very bad mistake I've seen some girls do, and this one also comes with the stigma from the parents. Like, you don't want to be involved with the child just because they got pregnant and you send them away from home. Or the next thing that you do, you force them to get married when it's not their time. These children go get married, but the marriages sometimes don't work because maybe the guy wasn't ready for marriage, and now you're putting him in so much pressure that the only way that they can work it out, they bring abuse in the family, and the woman gets abused for no reason. We've seen young women die, leave children behind, just because of stuff like this that happened from the source of unplanned pregnancies. First, the parents, you should accept these children. We all make mistakes, and as Christians we know, no sin is bigger than any other sin. You're a gossiper, you're a what, you're a murderer, we're just the same in God's eyes. A woman can't get pregnant alone. So there is the father behind the pregnancy. It's not good when you guys leave these women to be alone. I went through it and it was very hard. I wouldn't want anyone else to go through such kind of an experience. Raising up a child, bringing them up is not easy, especially when you're young, but don't give up to a point that you forget what your purpose is in this world. You have to pursue your dreams. You have to seek God's purpose in your life. So being a mother is one of your purposes, of course, if you get pregnant, and embrace it. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Maybe to wrap it up, Obed, what is your last word?
Well, my last words would be to the young people.
We know that premarital sex is not good, it's not right. So the best thing I would say to the young people is to try as much as you can, not even try, but to abstain from it. Because we know for sure that when we get involved into that, it leads to early pregnancy. So just abstain from it. Thank you.
Madam Mary?
From psychologist's desk, let's do psychoeducation on the effect of unplanned pregnancies, especially the young people. Let us guide them, even as parents, let us guide them morally uprightly.
Wow, and finally, Cynthia?
From my experience, being a young man, going through depression, it is real. Going through suicidal thoughts, it's real, and it is very traumatizing. So I'll tell the young people, if you're not ready to become a parent, just abstain. And if abstaining is so hard for you because we are in the generation where things are just going haywire, if you can't abstain, use the protective methods. We have the family planning methods, you have contraceptives. if you can't abstain, just choose them, but don't get yourself into a place that you maybe will come to regret later in life. Yeah, if you're not ready to be a parent, please just don't get yourself into it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Indeed, it was an awesome and candid discussion. Thank you so much for availing yourself for this show. And to our viewers, thank you again for watching. Keep tuned for our next episode. Until next time, bye-bye.